All right, what's up, Horror Headz? Welcome back to another episode of Bobby Likes It Spooky, also known as my little Fear Street pet. This time I bought some friends. Well, I always had friends, but I got a new friend here. Cory, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody? You might have some fans up in here that's going to be watching or whatever. So, who
Probably
are you?
not. You never know. My name is Cory. My channel is King Need Gore. It is my second channel. We have ascended into kinghood, but honestly, it's just a way to troll haters. But I review horror movies. I make hip hop music. I make my own original music for all of my videos. Yeah, I love horror movies, man. I love to talk about it in cool ways.
Yes, I love your content. I'm a new fan. I'm a new fan, and you tell it like it is. Every time you do a video, I'm continuously staring at your horror collection behind you. Not on this video, but your other videos. Your live fucking crazy, and your knowledge is crazy as well. So, yes, I was like, this dude knows some shit.
That's the secret. Nah.
The good kind, though. You're the good kind.
Yeah, for sure. Like the non-admitted one. Like I'm not committed to any. Like
yeah, you're still here.
Still free.
Mark, tell everybody who you are.
Hey, I am Mark Estes. I have just started my podcast back in May, Midnight Social Distortion. So I've been guesting on a lot of podcasts and a lot of, videos for you, Bobby, and other stuff. And I'm a huge horror fan, and I'm just excited to be here. And I'm a diehard Fear Street person, so I have words. So
I heard some of them, and a lot of people was getting your caption for the Fear Street 1666 kind of misconstrued a bit because you kind of came off saying, well, they took it as that you were saying that you didn't care for the episode when that wasn't actually it.
That wasn't it.
Yeah. I have some opinions, but we're going to get into it right now. So, guys, this is the last movie of the Fear Street trilogy. But let's go back, especially with you, Cory, because I haven't really heard your thoughts on the Fear Street. Because, again, you're new here. So what was your thoughts on 94 and 78?
I mean, overall, like, I wasn't too big of a fan of the three movies. I thought it was a good idea on paper, but it became kind of a hassle once I got to the third one. But the first one I thought was very good. I feel like it kind of lived up to the hype. Like there was a lot of hype surrounding the 1994 film, and I think it set up the other two films fantastically. I had a lot of fun. You just want me to talk about the 94 right now, right?
Yeah, you could do 78 as well. Yeah.
78 is the one where it's like they had everything aligned to be like really awesome, and I don't think that it lived up to the hype as much. I know, like, my name's Need Gore and stuff. Like, I love movies with a lot of gore. I expected it to really deliver, and in my opinion, it didn't as much. Okay. It was a lot of fun, and it continued the story. I liked 78, not as much as 94. And as far as 1666, we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah. Mark, I think I know what you're going to say, but now that you've seen the last movie, how do you have new feelings on 94 and 78, or are they still the same?
The feelings are still the same. My issue, because I'm all about my whole goal in life. Well, actually, my whole goal, but I'm just metaphorically, my whole goal in life was for Fear Street to become a thing for people, for it to become just as popular as Goosebumps, because I felt like Fear Street deserved all the flowers, because it was that middle point from Goosebumps to Stephen King for a lot of people, or Christopher Pike or something like that. So seeing how it ended, it kind of made me feel like, okay, you got a whole trilogy of movies and there was not one mention of Fear Street.
Yeah.
And even when y'all did do the little thing in the little scene with them flying onto Fear Street in a police car in 1666, or rather 1994 part 2, it was just like, okay, that's cute, but it's like, I don't know. It was like, it was too little too late. In my, if you
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
I agree. A lot of people been saying it. They said like, where's the Fear Street? Where's the Fear Street? Like the story's taking place, I guess, in the Fear Street or whatever. But like, where is it? But I don't know. Maybe this is setting up for something in the future. Maybe we are going to get a new series, more movies or something that's going to do a better job in doing that. So Katie, hey, what's up? I'm just seeing a comment. What's up? Joshua, what's up? I see you here. What Joshua say? These movies didn't work for me, felt rushed and poorly researched. It was like they used the Fear Street name to hype it up.
Well, no, he has a point.
Really hype something up. Yeah.
He has a point. Now, as I told a couple of people that I have to remind myself that these are adaptations of a major product, but as an adaptation, it works well. I've looked at it as Queen of the Damned. Queen of the Damned, the movie, is a great vampire movie. It is not a good adaptation of Queen of the Damned, the book. No. And so I look at them separately. Right. Yeah, because and that's a whole other conversation, because I love me some Aaliyah, and I love what the movie did by bringing her in as the queen, because it makes historical sense. But some people like, that's a whole other story. But anyway, that's the same thing with Fish Street. That's the same thing with Fish Street. It was like they read a few books and was like, okay, we're going to tie this together. And I would get into why they kind of shot themselves in the foot, even though the movie was good. It's just that when it comes to adapting this property.
I'm gonna say one thing, bro. I'm sorry, but my guy, if they had just made this a series, like they made it a show series, they could have told that story with the 1666 stuff and then branched off to a bunch of others like stories. And this could have been a long series that they just pumped out. We could have binged it. And by the time we finished binging it, we could have had another Fear Street thing. But now it's like all disconnected. And apparently they want to do like an MCU style universe of Fear Street with a bunch of trilogies of movies. And if they do that, then I'm probably not going to keep up with it.
No, I prefer a series, like a legit series, because you can do more with that opposed to just movies. Still, now me, I said this before, I haven't read the books. I never got a chance to read the books. I'm just going on the journey reading the books. But I enjoyed it from just like, an outsider of not knowing what was from the books, what was a reference, what was not. Like I don't know any of that stuff. So I enjoyed it. Now, when I first got into 94, I did feel like it was kind of cheesy, but I'm just like, all right, Fear Street, whatever, cool, it was a lot of fun, whatever. But then I got into it, and I'm just like, all right, this is a lot of fun. I like it a lot. And then when we got into 78, I like 78 a little bit more than 94, even though I'm a 90s kid, like I grew up in the 90s. But 78, I feel like gave me that a little bit more of a slasher vibe than the first one. And then also I like the characters a little bit more in 78, just because they went into depth more with those characters in 78. But I don't know. I had a good time with them. They were fun. I mean, I get what you guys are saying. I get it. They're not the best, but we've been lacking some slasher movies lately, and I'm deprived.
But bro, like, why did it feel like they made a movie for everybody? Like 94 was for the people that wanted Stranger Things. 78 was for the people that wanted something like Friday the 13th. And then 1666 was for people that liked The Witch. Like, pick a lane. I didn't deal with it.
But I think I like that because it's feeding everybody. It's like, this what you like? Cool, here you go. This what you like? Cool, here you go.
But it's exactly as like, here you go. Exactly how you said it. Like, it's just... Come on, man. They didn't have to think too hard about this one.
Well, the thing that bothered me the most, because what you said, Cory, was like they said they're trying to do an MCU type thing. That was Fear Street. that's instead of going saying we're gonna put this out first and then go that route. No, that was Fear Street. If you read a Fear Street book, if you was really deep into the Fear Street books, certain characters will pop up in later books, or they'll be like, certain things or events will be mentioned in another book that happened. So it was like everything was there to do that. And this felt more like a closing of
it's like a chapter. Like
a chapter. And whole thing. And so it's like
crazy, dude, because like you're a big fan of Fear Street, and there are a bunch of people that are big fans of Fear Street, and it's like before it came to Netflix, people like me and Bobby probably never heard of Fear Street. And it's like I hate when they do that to like people like you that like a particular thing, and they pull it out of the woodwork. They're like, hey guys, did you know that this is a thing? Well, here's a new movie about it. And all the real fans are like, but it could have been better. You could have done this so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah. I'm just happy that they did something though. And I feel like even though it wasn't a lot of people didn't care for it too much. Also, a lot of people did care for it. And I still feel like it got enough ratings where I think it potentially will get a series or more movies, because a lot of people was still looking forward to this, whether that you hate it or not. I feel like a lot of people that still dislike 94 watched 78 and watched 66 just because they still want to see how everything tied together, even though it's not their jam, but they still watched it.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's get into 1666 then. Okay, so what was you guys' expectations for this movie? Cory, do not make that face.
I'm not. I want Mark to go first. I'll go last. You guys.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. This sounds like a dragon coming up. But me, I'm not into like Colonial Times stuff, but
nor am I.
When you slap Fear Street and horror onto it, I'm there. So I was like, yeah, I want to see how they're gonna work this whole thing out, because Sarah Fear was just a fear. It was a whole family of fears that this whole thing started from, but they clearly solely looked at Sarah Fear, and I was like, there's no other Fear brothers and sisters or nothing like that out there, or there's not a family of fears here. And then so when they got into the whole storyline, and then they broke it down to what actually was causing it, for the movie, I was like, okay, that makes so much sense. That's a good twist. But then as everything started to pick up, I was like, y'all finna tell me y'all finna cut off the entire franchise at the foot. Y'all pretty much cut off the entire franchise at the foot. But as a movie, I felt like it was okay. It was good. It was a good starting point to be like, this is what happened for the story that they particularly told. However, because I'm a fan, I was like, I was hoping for so much more, because I was hoping for something to branch out of this, and I'm trying to figure out how logically that could possibly happen. Yes, we had a little cutscene at the end of the movie, but it was just like, but who would know about that? And if you do that, then because I just want to throw something out there right quick. The fears in the book series, they all perished in a fire in 1900, and the fire was on. What they did was they tore down the mansion, and they built a street over where that place was, and they called the street Fear Street, Fear, because Simon Fear changed his name from FIER to FEAR to escape the curse that the Good family put on them, because of some stuff that happened. But it was kind of like the plot between Sarah Fear and Hannah was similar to what started off the whole chain of events that gave us Fear Street. But that's how it's really supposed to went down. But it's just kind of like, I don't know. It just left me. The movie was good, but it was like, how will anybody else know about this situation with this book? How will they know? And if they do get the book and start doing cantations or something like that, will it be the same thing, like somebody possessing somebody to go and kill certain people, you know, or will it be just like, well, I done fucked up a spell and now the book is like the source of all the damn evil going on in Shady Side, you know, just, you know, so
right.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg with me right now. I'm gonna step off my soapbox.
All right, Cory. Actually, I feel like you're gonna drag this, so I'm gonna just say my little positive piece before I'm just gonna be in the middle part and just say I loved it. It was cute. It was nice. It had a good time. I'm joking. No, for real. I really did. I did enjoy it. I was worried too because I'm like you. I'm not really a fan of too many like colonial movies and things like that. So I'm just like, we're going back to 60, but whatever. But I enjoy what they did with bringing some of the cast back, playing different characters, and then you kind of got into the whole thing with the kids having their eyes all pulled out and stuff. But
oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. But I don't know. Like I do feel like you guys, like I felt like something was missing. Like I wanted more. I feel like it should have been a little bit more epic on what was going on with Sarah and her past. It was also predictable. Like I already went into it knowing that Sarah wasn't actually who people thought she was, you know? Like I knew that we was going to go back and people was going to see that she was innocent and somebody just framed her or whatever it was. I just knew that she was innocent the whole time. So I knew that was coming. I just wanted to know how that all played a part. But I did enjoy those when they did go back to 94 and kind of put all the pieces together. And, you know, that part was fun because I had a good time with 94. So I don't know. I had a good time watching it. Like, will I watch these movies again? Yeah, maybe, depending on what I'm feeling like. But out of all the three, I probably would watch 78 the most, to be honest, because, again, I enjoy that one the most. I love 94 a lot, but I think I would go back and watch 78 more. But that's my positive piece and some negatives. Now, Cory, I'm ready for your dragging of the film.
Right.
I'm scared.
I'm not going to drag it that bad. I mean, because, you guys kind of did the dragging for me. Like, just about everything that you said. Like, Mark, it's Mark, right? Am I tripping? Okay, Mark. No. Mark and Bobby. What you guys said is right. Your negatives are correct. Correct assessment of the movie. Like, I don't know, man. It felt like the most of the budget went into the 1666 movie, like recreating this colonial set and all this extra stuff. Like it's supposed to be real grand and stuff. Like you mentioned, Bobby and Mark. Like it was supposed to be a pretty big deal, and that's sort of goes back to the very beginning where it should have been a series, like a show instead of a movie, because how much story are you actually able to tell inside 3 movies? Even if it is 3 movies, these movies were long. All of them were pushing 2 hours, if not over 2 hours. So, yeah, you know, when they do, like you said, at the very end of the end credit scene and whatnot, you know what they're going to do with future movies. Well, we're going to have to go back in time to all these other movies, go back to 1666 and show you something that we didn't know about. And it's like, it made it very formulaic and predictable that I really could not get into the story. I liked 1994 a lot because it was all fresh and I didn't know what their formula was yet. It was easy to catch on to and about like towards the end, and then 78 happened and I liked it because it was pushing on my nostalgia buttons, you know, because I love slashers. 1666 pushed on absolutely nothing, and like you said, I liked it when they went back to 1994 and jammed a little short movie called 1994 Part 2. How lazy is that? Like, are you seriously gonna sit here and try and fool me? Like, oh look, we added an extra chapter. Now it had just because it has a title card. No, bro. This whole movie that you made me sit through, 1666, is just it's a big ass pointless flashback. Like, we didn't need to sit through all these little characters that died. That, oh, did you like this character? Well, here's him doing a little colonial accent all the accents were trash, by the way. Every accent was trash. I could not stand that they did all this, like, this big charade. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, I couldn't get into it too much, you know?
But I guess it makes sense for it, though. Like, you want to know what happened to Sarah, so you have to go back in time. You
I
have
want
to
her own movie. Like, Sarah Fear should have had her own movie. Like, we shouldn't have had to relive it because the chick that actually played Sarah Fear, we didn't really get to see her at all, except to stare intensely into the camera and say, "Oh, cursed for however many years." We get to watch this other chick, you know, steal the show. Like, it was kind of lame, man. Kind of.
I do agree with you on that. Like, even though I like some of the other characters popping up just because, like, that was cool, but I do wish that they. Now that you say that, I do wish that they had brand new actors play that. Like, what was wrong with actually having the actress that showed up in those flashes to be Sarah Fear throughout the whole thing?
Like, why did they? Yeah, why not have like the Sarah Fear character, the actress who played Sarah Fear? Why didn't she have any more screen time? Yeah. And what was up with the old girl's little brother? Like, he could not get that accent down to save his life. He was killing me.
Somebody said he had the best accent. Who was it? Somebody I was speaking to said he had the best accent. And I was
me.
like, oh, it was you.
It was only because I was like, you know, we was talking last night. I'm like, there was black people in the Colonial Times, like walking around freely and stuff. So I'm like, wait. Then I took it a step further. I said, wait a minute, are there black Irish people? I know that sounds horrible, but I haven't seen any black Irish people.
I ask that at least twice a year. Are there black Irish people?
Because I'm like, I never heard this. So just seeing a black person give an Irish accent was like
hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at the thing. It's giving birth. It's stuck. Oh, I'll get the knife. Don't get squeamish on me now. It was so lame.
And they kept dropping the accent at certain times. You'd be like, oh, what happened to the accent? Is this the actual, like, you know, Dina talking right now, or is this Sarah?
They only like an accent on the words where you know there's gonna be an accent.
Yeah.
Everything else is just straight up American.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Ben Graham said I follow a black Irish dude on TikTok. Okay. Half black, half Irish. I'm sure they exist.
I'm sure they exist. I just haven't seen them. You know what I'm saying? So
where are the black Irish people at?
Yeah, and I hate to sound like that. I hate to sound like that because or be like what's his name? Joanne the Scammer. Like, all the black Irish people stand up because immediately.
Yeah, she's a mess.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cory, on the whole thing about them giving us a new cast for the night for 1666. Yeah. It seems to me that they was trying to tie everything back up to the central love story of Dina and Sam. And I was okay with them in 1994. It was just in 1666. Not saying that didn't happen, and I guess it's like from a queer lens, I can see what they were trying to do. Like, you know, this does not pop up in the 90s or in the like 70s or something like that. This has been going on forever, and women was persecuted for just loving each other and all. I understand that, but like, it's confusing because this goes back to 1994. The nosebleeds. They never explained what caused the nosebleeds. And
they rushed through it. Like they had a little montage where they were like, look at all these people that bled out their nose on an object that was cursed. And it's like,
but it still didn't make any sense.
But why?
Because of the bus. Dina was the one who first had the nosebleed.
So is it when you're around that area, I guess, where Sarah Fear was buried? Like, do you get a nose? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense. It's not making sense.
It has to be like the people that were like historically linked to the thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know,
and why didn't they say that?
No, 1666 is bad. They didn't explain anything to us at all. They didn't have enough time.
And the whole reason why I believe they didn't explain stuff is because they were still they were focused on that love story of Sam and Dina and Hannah and Sarah, and it was just like, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, but it's kind of cheesy at this point because now you're saying that pretty much Sarah reached out to Dina and be like, I feel where you're coming from, girl. Let me just go ahead and get you hip in this thing, and
And to
maybe
be
you
honest, yes, and to be honest, they gave us that story in '94, and I mean, I'm happy that it was shown in 1666, but for them to focus on that story for too long, where they could have gave us a whole bunch of other stuff, maybe explain some nosebleeds or something like that, it was a bit excessive, for me at least. They could have just not take that part out. They could have insinuated it, and then I would have been fine with that. Oh, that's you, Gore. I was about to say.
Yeah, I have two. It's my alternate account. We'll need more Gore. That's me.
Okay, because I was like, I thought that this sounds like him, but no, right. I really, and I'm the same way, Cory. Is that like, okay, I want everybody to know on this panel, but I want everybody to know who's watching this that I do and love all three movies. Just like I will sit there and watch some of the bad Friday 13, some of the bad Halloween, some of the bad Hellraisers, just to sit there, just to watch them, and just to sit there and be like, okay, we get black horror survivors out of this. This is a good thing. But like I said, when it comes to adaptation, because I have a Free Street friend who was like he was very, all about going to the pop-up and everything, and they had, and like connected with people, but he flat out told me I would not be watching these movies any further after 1666 because he was completely let down. He didn't want to even sit there and acknowledge it no more, and so it's just because he was highly upset, and I understood that because I was like, that's how it was with I don't know what movie it was though, but Craft Legacy. Because I was sitting there hyping that movie up, and then when I got to it, I was like,
Yeah, Craft Legacy. That's another talk.
Exactly. I haven't watched that movie yet.
Oh, you didn't watch it yet?
No, I haven't. Well, that was that was my I will not be participating in this moment. That's hilarious. When I was like, I will not be furthering my viewership of this particular series of film. I do not agree.
Like, no.
Craft Legacy had potential, but
they botched the landing. They always botch the landing on these damn things, man. Yeah. They start off so good. They're like, here's everything that you'd ever wanted, and then just like, just kidding. Right, money. Yeah. Give me your money.
That is true. Okay, well, we expressed our feelings for 1666. I guess Fear Street Part 2, 1994 Part 2. What was you guys' thoughts on that? Because I actually had a good time watching that too. I love seeing them getting the killers together and then them attacking each other and things like that. Like, I felt like that was a lot of fun. What bothered me the most is Martin. I like that character. The black dude. But like how he was brought into the equation, how he was brought in there, I was just like, okay, he didn't necessarily have to be here. I mean, it's cool to see him there. He's a cool dude, but it didn't make sense. Like, why? I mean, did I miss something? Why did he need to be there?
Because the other little black boy was like, hey, you want to kill the sheriff? And he was like, well, yeah, of course. I'm that character that wants to kill the police that always fuck with me.
Oh, so we just needed an extra person to kill.
We just needed an extra black person. In the ending, because it's all about, I liked it, like the Part 2, 1994 Part 2 inside 1666. It's whatever. I mean, it was cool. It brought us back to the mall, which they should have stayed at the mall, in my opinion, because everything circled back to the mall anyway. Like, the mall was a fun setting.
Yeah, it was. He had the keys and stuff. All right, I guess that makes sense. But
he had the key.
They still could.
They could have played it some way. And then I was going to say it was just loose ends to be tied up, because you notice at the end of 1994, he gave Josh the card after he helped him get out, and was like, okay. But it was like, I also mentioned this the other night. I was like, y'all went back to Martin, who looks like he stays on Fear Street, mind you. And you brought him in, and I was like, oh God, they need a body. They need a body. They need a slash. They need somebody to be slashed because they don't want Josh to get killed.
Yeah.
They don't want Ziggy to get killed. And it's like, we need a body. I was like, please do not be a body.
Oh, there were no bodies. Nobody got nothing. No bodies at all.
The cops. But you don't know. You they really, when you think about it, they don't count sometimes the horror movie because the cops show up is like
they're gone. They were literally on screen for like 3.5 seconds. Like they weren't on there that long at all.
But one of them was the guy who was in the first movie, who was also in 1778 as a young guy. But it was like I knew he was gonna be a body. I just knew he was. I'm like, okay, we have a body right here. Like, but yeah, the mall situation. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was out of the whole 1666 thing that aired this past Friday. I was more suspenseful. I was in suspense more with the showdown at the mall because I was like, y'all just showed y'all kill kids and y'all don't give a shit. So I'm like, Josh might not make it out of this. And I was gonna be like, if Josh dies for Dina to save this damn girl's ass, if I see her, it's gonna be a low down dirty shame situation. I'm just gonna sit there, just throw some in her face when I see her public because I'm like, why did you let this child die? Your brother died. I want you to save this girl who you might not. Go ahead.
That was my issue with her on the 94. I felt like she was so invested with her relationship with Sam, where when her brother was in trouble, like he was just like second thought. She was so focused on fucking Sam, and it pissed me off. On this one, she redeemed herself just a little bit because they had that moment before, like they actually went out and did their thing or whatever. But it's kind of too late. Like Sam is already possessed. Like what are you gonna do?
Let her go.
Yeah.
Child, you gonna go to college, you're gonna find more girls to chill with. Just let that go.
I thought Dino would sacrifice herself and die.
I would have been okay with it. And not because even though she's a black final girl, technically, it was just I'd have been okay with that because give us some type of stakes because it's like you said, Bobby, you kind of knew how everything is gonna pan out. But if they had have killed her, it would have been a shock,
Yeah.
And
to be honest, I thought they were going to kill Ziggy. I thought Ziggy was going to go.
I did too.
She
I thought she was in a lot.
Yeah, so I thought they was going to. I was hoping she didn't because I liked her, but I thought she was going to go. I thought Martin was going to go because, like you thought, I thought it was just going to bring in a body because they need one to get rid of somebody. But. Honestly, on my first watch, when they went back to 94, I paused it because I'm like, all right, how much of this movie I got left? It was only like 25 minutes, so I knew it wasn't going to be that long. So I was just like, okay, cool. So I played the rest of it because I was like, I want to know how the rest of this is going to pan out. But to be honest, they didn't even have to put a part 2. They could have just put 94 again. It's not. I don't really consider it a part 2 because it's. I don't know.
It's a full-on movie, yeah. It's like
it's only like 20 minutes on that part. 94, like part 2, 94 is like only 20 minutes, so it's not technically a movie.
They put it inside of a movie.
Initially, I thought it was cool, but then after I was sitting there thinking about it, I was like, y'all could have just put this at the end of 1994, and instead of you just leaving off with into. It could have been a full 2-part movie. Like take the beginning of 1778 and then the end of 1778 and then put that, and then this part right here could have been all separate movie. And then that could have been like what we talked about earlier in the show. That could have been the movie, the Fear Street movie. That could have been the Fear Street movie was 1994. And then all the parts from all 3 movies, and then be like, okay, part 2 is going to be in 1978, and we're going to show you how all this shit happened, blah, 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 blah. And then if you just had to go back to 16, I think 1666 should have been left for if they spun off a television show. And then let there be like a trilogy, a 3-part episode arc in the television show. They just need to, whoever is over the rights for the Fifth Street film rights or merchandise rights, call me. I know how to set this shit up. I mean,
I'm sure you do.
I'm serious, because can y'all imagine? Because this was really supposed to go in theaters. It's supposed to be in, each movie was supposed to play in the theaters 3 months behind each other. Can you imagine going to the theater and then, you know, I love Fifth Street, but can you imagine paying money for that?
Hell no.
And you know, you get to the, because I tell you, with the, just a side note, when the Matrix Trilogy came out and we was all sitting there late at night, gotta be in class the next day for this damn movie, and then when the Matrix Revolutions ended, I was in college when the Matrix Revolutions came out, and so when it came out, we was everybody
still, and that was good.
Well, we got to the theater, and when that movie ended, the entire theater went like, "What the fuck?" And it was like, it was funny. But I think that's probably what would happen at the end of Fifth Street 1666 if it was in theaters. What the fuck?
Yeah, people would have did that, booing. A lot of people probably would not like it. It probably was good for it to go straight to Netflix, because I can't imagine seeing this in theaters. Like, yeah, going to watch 94, I probably would have a good time. But I like, first of all, my boyfriend, when we watched it, he was like, "This is on Netflix." So if he's questioning if it's on Netflix, imagine it being in the theater.
And I loved it. I mean, I was so excited when they announced the movies, but then it was like, as they was announcing each, you know, theme for each movie, I was like, you know. But then I was like, I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this seems like it's gonna be pretty good. And then I love the movies for what they are in terms of that thing. They have their flaws, but it's a good adaptation for Fifth Street. No, it's not.
Yeah. Well, what would you guys like to see in, next Fear Street movies, if we get that, or it's serious? You know it's going to come either way. So, what would you guys like to see next?
Don't do it. Don't drag him too hard, please.
No, look like you was going to say something nice.
I'm sorry.
Could we get just like Goosebumps movies again?
Ooh.
Did you like the last 2 Goosebumps movies?
No, I didn't like any of those, but I mean, like, new ones. Could Netflix give us Goosebumps instead?
Well, I heard that they're doing a new Goosebumps series. I heard they're doing a new Goosebumps series, and hopefully that stick with the Goosebumps formula.
I like
of actually being scary, or because those movies was like a watered down version of Goosebumps. It was like a Jumanji.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Exactly what it was.
Yeah, and I'm just like, cool, but this is not for me. I mean, this is for the newer kids, which is fine. But I don't get Goosebumps in neither of these movies. I don't, and I was disappointed.
It's just like jam packed with everything that is Goosebumps, and it's like that poster behind you of the Friday the 13th poster. It's everything at once, all at the same time. Yeah,
that's what that is so right. That's exactly what it's just a whole bunch of just a big, and I hated it so much. Like, I wanted to see some of my favorite
knickknacks.
Yeah, I wanted to see like some of my favorite characters from Goosebumps, and they were in there if you look closely, but it's like they weren't used right and correctly. And you got Slappy on there. Oh, that's cool.
For like
but I don't know. I would like to see when we get the Goosebumps series, I would hope that it's a little bit more. It don't have to be rated R, because I'll put a tweet out about if you can get a Goosebumps book and if it's rated R, what would it be? And everybody was enjoying it. And then it was one negative Nancy that was like, neither. And I'm just like, okay, fine, sure.
I was like, calm down.
Yeah, calm down. It's not that serious. I'm just having fun. I just want to know everybody's thoughts of what adaptation they would like to see turned into an R-rated film. Like, it's not like I'm able to actually make it happen. It's just fun. And he was like, well, if you turn every PG-13 property into a rated R, then that like takes away from like, gateway horror. I'm like, nobody, like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, it's not like first of all, it's not like it's erasing like the Goosebumps history. It's not erasing the books. It's not erasing the TV show if that was to happen. It's not erasing the movie. So what are you talking about? And there's plenty of kids horror out there. So
My opinion is important.
Child. Exactly. He had the blue check. I'm like, child, sit your ass down.
He had the blue check.
Yeah, for nothing.
For nothing.
Cory, Welcome to Heartland. Welcome to Heartland was actually my choice. I would love to see an R-rated version of Welcome to Heartland.
Like Attack of the Mutant. That's always been my favorite Goosebumps book in general. Attack of the Mutant.
That's a good one.
Revenge of the Long Gnomes or Welcome to Dead House to me would be
Welcome to Dead House. Yeah, Welcome to Dead House is the shit.
I want to see the gnomes.
You want to see what?
The gnomes, like you said.
Oh, the gnomes.
Dude,
can you imagine like what they would do with the gnomes? Like just like that. First of all, that's like a creature feature. We don't got enough of those horror movies in general. Right. So I would love to see like a exaggerated monster version of a fucking gnome just ripping people up at night. Yeah, that would be dope.
But for me, for another Fear Street, I would be like, if they sat there, it's like, we're giving you a Netflix series called Fear Street, it's going to ignore the events of the trilogy. I'd be like, okay, let's bring it. Let's do it. Because, like I said, they just pretty much took everything in a blender. They just threw everything in a blender and just bulldozed. We don't have to say like blended it together. The books they kept showing, the Robert Lawrence books they kept showing throughout the book, throughout the 1994. Yeah, they were the ones. Those were the books that were, I think, where they pulled ideas from, and they made sure not to show the Fear Street Saga books because those were the ones that that was the backbone of the story, and then they just added certain books to connect all together. Just give us a showrunner that knows the books, not somebody who read like 5 of them and was like, okay, we're gonna do something with these. No, give us a showrunner that knows the books, knows the mythology really well, knows certain history, and let them do the show. And just Fox, because it was a Fox property before they got bought out by Disney. Be like, y'all just sit y'all asses back and let us run this show and just break in the money, So we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's speaking from a true Fear Street fan. Again, like I said, never read the books. I'm going to dig into some, and I'll get into it. My buddy Cameron gave me main ones that I should read, so I guess I'll read them.
Thank you, Cameron.
You telling me I can't just read the backs of the Fear Street books and make a whole $1 million project out of it?
You cannot.
The synopsis doesn't give me enough information. I got to read the whole book.
You have to read every chapter of a small book. If you go and buy some of the Fear Street books, they've been repackaged now. They're like this damn thin. So
like 200 pages.
200, maybe not even 200. That's probably that's a super thriller. That might be a super thriller edition, but it's not the actual. Because I bought a repackaged version of one of the classic Fear Street books, and I'm like, they're this thin now, and you can make something out of that. You can make a 2-part, series, a 2-part episode, like have a 10 episode season, and make them 2-parters.
Well,
you need
maybe we'll get that.
Be like, yo, can I get like $5 million and I'll make this for you?
Right. Well, maybe we'll get that, in the future. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm going to watch either way and see how that goes. Well, did you guys have any likes, Elise? What was your favorite part in 1666? Cory, I'll start with you.
I mean, like,
what is one thing that you enjoyed the most, Elise?
I like the title card, and then like after the cutscene when the credits started rolling, that was pretty dope. And then when at the end, like Netflix recommends something new for you to watch once it's all over, I think that's like pretty dope. I'm playing. No.
At first, I was serious. I'm like, okay, you like the title card.
Yes.
But then you kept going.
All 2 title cards that they have in one movie.
Right.
No, I thought what is something good? Like the very end, like when they're in the mall and stuff. I mean, this counts as 1666, right? Like when they get all the little monster people to attack each other at the same time. I thought that was pretty cool.
They brought out the super soakers. Come on.
Yeah, that was dope. And like they use a lot of neon, like a lot of black light stuff.
Yeah.
And that's always a cool aesthetic to have. You know, they really drenched that mall in black light and played with that a lot. And I thought it was cool. It made me wish that we got more of that aesthetic, like the 90s black light uber bullshit aesthetic. I thought I don't know.
Did you guys have a problem with the music
of the first movie?
Yeah. Did you guys have a problem with the music? Because I heard some complaining about the amount of music that they play in there. It was just like one after another. So a lot of people was complaining about it keep popping up. Like I thought it was okay, but
I thought it was okay until you know I'm a Bobby. You know I'm a fellow 90s geek, so I'm 90s kid rather. So I was checking some of those songs because you know certain songs take you to what you was doing when the song came out. Mm-hmm. And so I know the Nurse in 1994 was playing Killing Me Softly. And I'm like, that wasn't 94. So I did some research and it was like 97, 98. I'm like, okay, y'all need to stop playing songs that came out like way later in the 90s and shit, unless y'all in some alternate universe where y'all can pick up music or some shit like that. But I was like, y'all should have did better in there.
Even with AOL, like AOL didn't come out until 1997. And it was on it 194.
I'm glad somebody mentioned it because I was like, I don't think because I was like, I remember getting those AOL.
I loved it because I love AOL. Like I was on there like every other kid, you know, like I said, doing stuff I shouldn't be doing and you know, chatting with people I probably shouldn't be chatting with. But I was a kid and it was a good time. So it took me back, but it didn't come out in 94.
It did not come out in 94. It was just the accurate. It
was a fun plot device, wasn't it? They used that to make it important.
And they brought it back to the end of the like 1994 or 1666 for the girl revealed herself to be, you know,
that was cute though. I like that.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
They ended it well. They did it has a good ending. I just everything else I wasn't a big fan of.
Right. Was Martin trying to give them like a MP3 player at the end of the movie?
I don't know what he was trying to give them. He was trying to give them like a whole vinyl fucking record player or some shit. I don't know. That thing was huge.
It was huge.
And the girl, she was like, it's bigger than my Discman. What the fuck?
And he was talking about the Discman. I'm like, you don't understand. That Discman was like, I was one of the few converts because I was walking across my college campus with the CD player, with a Discman, and had I would have my textbooks and a big ass case of CDs. I was literally, what's his name, Elton and Clueless. I'll be in class, like flipping through like my thing, like, wait, where's my CD? And like they were like, and somebody said, look at me like, you really toted it around, and they had like the white cords coming out their ears. I'm like, what's that? They're like, it's an iPod, like, you know. And I'm like, oh, so we bought an iPod, and I became one of those like white. I converted myself over, but I'm not gonna lie. The first 2 years of my college career, I did have a CD player and a big ass case of CDs. So I got what he was saying.
I still got a case of CDs like right like in my other room, bro. Like I don't know. I don't. And I had a Discman up until about like 8th or 7th grade. I mean, it was a fun time. The shit skip every time you skip.
Yes.
But, I mean,
yes.
Corey, if you don't mind,
bro, I was just about to ask you the same thing. How old are y'all, bro?
Yeah.
Black don't crack. I have no idea how old y'all are.
I'm in my early 30s.
Okay.
How about yourself?
In the 80s? You were born in the 80s?
I was born in the 80s, yes.
Yeah. You too, Mark? 80s?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was born. I'm in my 20s, so I was born in 94. So like.
Oh, same age as my sister. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I was.
So you're 26 or be 26.
I'll be 27 here soon at the end of the year. It's lit.
End of the year. Hey,
94 was a great year. It was
a great year, bro. A lot of shit started and a lot of shit ended in '94. I'm just now realizing, and Fear Street, bro. Like, I remember that. Like, I was born right there on Fear Street. Like,
right. But no,
so tell me what it was like.
Right.
Right. I can't.
I want to know.
No, it amazes me how many people, because I have a lot of cousins that grew up in the 90s, and y'all are like the last generation of kids who know. Well, we're all in the same generation, rather, but y'all are like on the cusp of all those who grew up with no cell phones and stuff like that. You had to call on the house phone. You had to, VHSs, CDs, all this stuff. So, and my niece right now, she just turned 10, but when she was 3, this child was sitting there. She was what I was in 1986 at the age of 3. She was like, I know the program of VCR at 3, and my niece knows how to go in and do Netflix accounts and stuff like that. I'm like, because she sat there and I told her, a quick story. I told her Amazon Prime. So I got Amazon Prime. You can watch this movie, but only pick the movies that are available on Prime. Don't pick anything that you have to buy. Okay, Uncle Mark. I'm sitting there chilling. I get a damn alert. You just purchased Trolls.
It's on Prime. What are you talking about?
And that's what she said. That's exactly what she said.
That would be me. It's on Prime.
It's on Prime. I'm like, but baby, you sat there, because I've never bought anything on Prime yet, because I just got it. And she was like, I said, did you get an alert or anything saying like, do you want to purchase this movie? She said, I don't know. I just hit play. And I'm like, and her mom was like, she knew what the hell she was doing. But she's sneaky like that. But I'm like, you know what? I can't get mad at her, because
all were when we were that age. We used to do dumb shit like that. Yeah, I used to record over so many VHS tapes that I shouldn't have been doing. I got in trouble so many times. I used to know how to record on there. It was a good time in the mid-90s.
Have you ever called and ordered like a set of CDs?
No, but I remember the box. The box. It was a music station. When music videos come on, you get to call in. I ordered so many fucking music videos, and I got in trouble because it showed up on a bill, and my mom was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Look, the Spice Girls was on. I wanted."
Always Spice Girls with you.
Mind business. They were the 90s. But wow. Well, Cory, I didn't know that you were a 90. Right there in 94. That's awesome.
Right there in 94. That's everything that you're talking about in the 90s, like I know of, but I wasn't old enough to like experience it too much. So I'm very familiar with it. I'm still learning, so to speak. Like the early 2000s was like my era. So like I remember.
Explode after I put in used batteries. Never again.
Never put in used batteries. Before we went on camp car rides, I tell my dad, you got to stop by Walmart. I need some batteries. Because
that's how I was in Home Alone. Remember, he went to batteries for his little recorder thing. That was us. Well, all right, Fair Street. Well, final thoughts. Ratings. Cory, what would you rate 94, 78, and 1666?
All separately? Like out of 10?
Separately. Out of a 5.
Out of a 5. Okay. Well, 94. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I guess. Okay. 4 out of 5. And then
not being biased because you born in 94.
I mean, it's just, basically. I mean, I was like, yo, this is everything looked like laser tag. So and then 78, I'll give it a 3 out of 5, and then 66, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Because I mean, it just declined in quality. Because man, that's just how I feel personally. They're all fun.
Okay. Yeah, they're all fun. That's one thing you can't take away. At least they're fun. They're fun movies.
And it was free.
Mark.
So it's like we had to
Yeah, it was free. We watched it on Netflix. We did not pay money to go see that.
Right. With me, 1994 gets a 5 because I connected with the movie on a nostalgic level with the music. You know, Josh. You know, I say this. I can't say this enough. Josh was me in the 90s, saying his hair and bad fashion choices, but I was Josh, and just because I was reading Fear Street in 1994 and Goosebumps and all this stuff while listening to the music they was listening to, and you know, going to the, you know, if we just, it was just, that was me. So it's for nostalgic factor and for adaptation, I'm gonna give it a 5 because I was actually excited about 1994 when I first saw it. Actually teared up a little bit. 1978.
Why did you cry, or why did you almost cry?
It's because it was just the nostalgic. It's just nostalgia.
Yeah. It's a
No, I had a whole sleepover event for 1994. I had the snacks I was eating. You know,
it was a big deal.
It was a big deal for me because I've been waiting for this since I was 13. So, 1978. You probably be like, really? But no, that gets a 5 too, because if you watch 1978 and take out the Fear Street stuff, it's a good slasher film. They went balls to the wall because I know I told Bobby before that I have this thing about like kids getting killed unnecessarily in horror movies just for shock value. But anytime I watch a camp movie or a horror movie set at a camp, I'm like, they're always going after the counselors. The kids are always, you know, safe. They was just like, fuck them damn kids in this damn movie. And I didn't like get mad watching it. I was like, damn, he's like, nobody's safe. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's safe. And he just, all you had to do was walk out and the damn dude was right there. And it was like, there was no chase, not too many chase scenes, but it was just like, damn, he got them. And so it gets a 5 for me because I thought the last scene with the two was Ziggy and Cindy was just brutal, you know. Yeah. And it was kind of hard, but 1666, I'm gonna give that I'm gonna go with Gore's rating. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of a 5.
Woo!
Because
oh my god, I wasn't expecting that rating from you.
Because it was just the way that like I said, I love the twist, and I just love how they connected the story together. It was a good connection, but the way that it ended the entire saga, it was like, no. And the reason why I'm giving it that low, because we didn't speak about it, that damn reversal of fortune. This is what should have happened in 1666. Yeah, you stopped the curse, but that particular curse is not what is the reason why y'all are fucked. Y'all are fucked because of something grander than the state of fear, aka good family curse. So it was just like y'all course corrected everything. You know, it just, I'm not a bleak person when it comes to horror. Like, I'm not one of those people who like, oh, everybody, I'm mad that everybody survived, or like this person survived and they have a happy ending. No, I actually like this type of stuff. But if they'd have left it like, oh, we solved it, we won, and then they walked outside and got hit by a bus, I'd have been like, damn, the curse is still in effect, and they would have left a good opening for.
So, long story short, you wanted the curse to still be fucking shit up in this town. You wanted some stuff to still continue. You didn't want that happy ass end where everything is over.
Right, like everybody's fine. Shady Side is saved, and we're prosperous now. There's people shopping at the Shady Side Mall now, and Sunnyvale is going through some shit. I'm like, no, Sunnyvale is technically a part of Shady Side, and y'all are not safe. That's the whole point of Fear Street. Nobody's safe. They tried to kill
in this universe. They are. They're safe now until somebody took the book and the the little final shot.
It was dumb, bro. It's such a cheap little way. Like, look, someone grabbed the book. 2 quick white little hands.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought it was going to be something epic because they kept doing those flashes of the mall and then going inside. Or what's about to happen? And then you just see somebody take the book. I'm like, really? You like?
Someone's
Who
gonna
knew
read
about
it.
that?
Is it gonna hit again? Oh,
Yeah.
God. And bro, the reason I cracked up laughing is because there's an exact moment at the end of like 1666 where I thought somebody was gonna get hit by the bus. And I was like, I laughed to myself, and I was like, why did I laugh? No one got hit by the bus, but it's like, I'm glad someone else got hit. Like, bro, they should have hit someone with the bus, bro.
They should have.
They
A
should've
shady
done like-
cider.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, a shady cider.
All right, so we want people to get hit with a bus. Well, my rating, I give 94. I still keep it at a 4.5. I give 78 a 5 just because I had so much fun with it. Actually, no. 78 comes down to a 4.5 as well. Because I wanted to see, because it is brutal, but I wanted the Nightwing Killer to be a little bit more brutal. I don't know why. Like, this is very, like, I wanted him to, it was effective how he was hitting them with the X because you've seen it, like they didn't cut away. But I want to see a little bit more, maybe some X throwing, some dust, like some creative kills. But I guess people want it. I mean, I guess that's more of the Jason realm of things, but they should do it. Come on, it's not just Jason's thing. So maybe some more creative kills. So I give it a 4.5 just for that because it didn't go that way. And then 1666, I enjoyed a lot. But I bring it down. I give it a 3. I give it a 3.
Don't do it because of peer pressure now. You can sit there and
yeah,
say
don't do it because of
peer pressure.
I'm just messing with you, Bobby.
I said what I said.
I'm not
And
going
what
to
I said, and what you said was some bullshit.
Nah.
But no, I give it a 3. Seriously, because I watched it twice, and you guys are actually making some very, very good points. And it made me think, like, damn, like they could have done this a lot better. I did enjoy going back into the Colonial Times. I was worried. I enjoyed that part, but not as much as I enjoyed 94 Part 2 more. So yeah, I give it a 3. That's my least favorite. I thought I was gonna like it a lot, and actually on my first watch, I liked it a lot. But then second, I'm just like, all right, a lot of things don't make sense still to me, and it's cool how they tie everything together. But yeah, the other ones are better.
I knew it was gonna be good related. I knew they was gonna have some shit too. But I will say that another thing of 66 I like was the chase scene under the in the caves and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool because it tied back into, because it showed you like what happened in 78, like how she lost her hand and how they found her hand in 78 and things like that. Like it was cool. Like it was cool tying all those pieces together, and that's what I love about it. But yeah.
Oh, you know what? I liked when old girl lost her hand. I thought they did that scene pretty damn well. That was like actually really painful, and I was like, okay, that was pretty good. You got me there, 66.
What was it enough to raise your rating?
Hell no. I was going to ask you if they had explained how the nosebleeds work in 1666. Would it have bumped up the rating or no?
Maybe so.
Yeah,
because they still didn't explain that. I'm like, how did Dina get a nosebleed? They never explained why she of all people got the nosebleed that caused the accident to.
Yeah, and my original theory, I thought like Dina was connected to like a bloodline of Seraphir or something, or maybe everybody was connected to some type of bloodline. So maybe that's why I was tying everything together. But they didn't even mention that. The only bloodline somebody was connected to was Nick Good, and that was really it.
Right, so, and then on top of that, like they didn't explain why Nick chose Sam to be the next killer after he just chose Ryan Torres. It's like you just chose him. Like, damn, do you have to have that much blood? And also, one last thing, like somebody, I know some people went to Nick Good's house. Bro, you living good on a sheriff's salary. What's up?
Right.
What's up? Like in this small ass town that nobody's making money in, but you living damn good.
But the curse though. I got to do the curse thing though.
The men were trash in that whole damn
trash.
They were horrible. I was getting so pissed in 66 where they were all like blaming Sarah because the dude pretty much got a fucking boner because he was being disgusting. And then he's gonna blame that on, oh, well, I seen these people got there and they put a spell on me. I'm just like, child.
Yeah. And then on top of that,
there was some guys on women on there for no apparent reason.
And then everybody, it was like, that's how people back, I don't know if I wasn't there, but it seemed like that's actually what people did back then. It was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Dude, you were there. Yeah, true. Like, dude, you were there. You saw what happened. You laughed at them dragging his ass. Mm-hmm. I don't care how high I was on berries. You know, everybody didn't have no berries. Y'all had libations. Only 5 people had berries. And it was like, come on now. Like, y'all could have been like, nah, that's not what happened. Your ass got clowned. Sit down. And you notice how all the men was in the front, all the women were in the back, sitting in there. I was like, damn. So it was
and then that Thomas dude was doing the most. So I'm like, y'all already know this dude is a drunk and he's not the most like sane person. Y'all believing in what he says. Okay.
Bro, I swear to God.
Mm-hmm. It didn't make sense. It was all getting on my nerves. It was too much. It was too much. Because that's how people are in real life. Well, men. Well, most of those type of men. I'm not trying to get too political in here because I don't want to sour anybody, but I got a lot to say about that, but I'll keep it nice tonight. Well, guys, it's been over an hour. So any final thoughts before we go?
No? Man. Nah. Got it all
just give me more. Just give me more, but with actual fish aficionado on hand.
Give Mark more, but make it better.
Make it better, yeah.
Give us better.
More Fear Street. More, when I say Fear Street, can we actually know about Fear Street? You know what I mean? Just don't give us a sign and pass it that says Fear Street, and then okay, cool.
It wasn't even spelled right. I'm like that dude on. I'm like, what's his name? Damien on Mean Girls. It wasn't even spelled right.
But then you said they changed it. Like they changed it to Fear, like the other spelling of it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the biggest thing. I'm gonna say this, and I promise you, I'm done. If you had the FEAR on the street, then it would have probably tied around because anybody who was watching this is probably still at home, like you two who didn't read the books. Like, oh, so the street is called Fear Street. Like that is where does the FEAR come in at? You know, so so that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Netflix is like, well, you have a Netflix account, so you must be smart enough to fill in the blanks. And I also think you read the books, so.
Oh man. Well, all right. Cory, you don't have no thoughts, Mark. You just explain yours, and my thoughts is I would like to see more, enough for it to make everybody happy. Because I was fine with this little series, but maybe when I read the books, by the time we get the new series, maybe I can actually have more opinions and comment more on actual things. But so far, I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was a fun little slasher for the summer. So now on to Candyman and Halloween Kills. Can't wait for those 2 movies.
God, yes.
Yes.
Until I will say this, until Halloween Kills comes out, the bread slicer kill is going to be the one at top. But I know Mike's gonna bring it. I mean, Candyman might bring it too, but I'm sure Mike's gonna be like, "Look, bitch, look. It's my time of year. I'm gonna take over, and this is my shit. And y'all come and watch me slice up some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, can't wait.
Saw a kill, bro.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm gonna get my life watching that movie. I can't wait to experience that in theaters. It's gonna be a good ass time. October is almost here.
Almost.
Yeah, almost there. All right, guys. Well, that was it. That was our thoughts on Fear Street 1666 and the other Fear Street movies and Goosebumps and all that stuff, and going to nostalgic land. We had a good time here. Before we go, for people that's now watching, Cory, you don't mind saying again, where can everybody find you before we bounce?
Find me on YouTube, King Need Gore. I do stuff on there. It's awesome. And check me out on Instagram too, I guess. I don't really mess around with it. _ King Gore _ it's lit. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Mark O Estes.
You can find me at my podcast, Midnight Social Distortion. I'm actually doing an episode about the Matrix Trilogy right now. You can also find me on Twitter, The Anti-Critic, on Instagram, O Estes, all one word, and Midnight Social Distortion, all one word. Cory, I just added you on Instagram, so that was probably that's me.
Cool.
You can find me on okay, because I'm having issues with Instagram adding people. On Clubhouse, Midnight MD Distortion, MS Distortion, excuse me, MS Distortion, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
All right.
You said your Instagram is MS Distortion?
Oh no, that's my Instagram is O Estes, all one word.
Okay.
O Estes. All right, and guys, obviously you know where to find me because obviously you're here watching this video, so you know where the YouTube channel is at. But if you want to communicate with me on Twitter and Instagram, Bobby Torres with a Z, not an S, and Bobby Likes a Spooky also on Instagram. So, yeah, thanks again, guys, for joining me here to talk about Fear Street. Thanks again, Cory, for doing this. It was great having you here. Welcome to our shenanigans and shit. This was a good time. You fit perfectly.
Yes.
I love it. And I look forward to having you back if you're down.
Yeah, just hit me up. I keep a low profile, but if you hit me up, chances are I'll probably slide through.
All right, sweet.
Cool.
All right, well, follow Cory, follow Mark, and like this video and subscribe. Peace out, everybody. All right.